Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Tonight we're joined by Rangers Radio royalty. We have the Queen of Rangers Radio and the King of Rangers Radio. We're being joined by Bridgeman and Linda. Evening.
Evening, Oxford. Evening, Bridgeman. Evening to all the listeners. A happy new year. I hope you had a great time.
Come on, the King.
Forgot I was on mute. Can I just say a big good evening to yourself, Oxford, and of course the techie boys in the background, and of course Linda. Good evening to yourself, and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Bridge?
I'm okay, pal. I'm okay. As far as the football's concerned, I'm a bit confused in my mind, but that's not to be. I can't say too much about it. It's quite confusing.
I just I'd watched it when the game was on. That goal that Big Seamus scored on Wednesday, it was a better goal than I realised. His quickness of thought, what I thought was excellent when I looked at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a reasonably good ball played up from Golson. I thought he had a few long passes that were excellent during the game, Connor Golson. But Seema, he took it really well. He's strong, isn't he, Ox? He's quite brave. And then obviously when it comes down to him, Cantwell's running in as well, but he gets in ahead of Todd Cantwell and thinks, I'm having this. And yeah, what a finish it was. And it was good to just get that second goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. And by the way, it was remiss of me not to wish both of you Happy New Year. I've not spoke to you Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, and by the way, just for the record, we'll not be taking any birthday requests today, yeah? None at all.
Okay.
Right.
Whose birthday is it?
I'll just say none.
It can't be Linda, surely.
No.
You would never admit to having a birthday.
Linda has a birthday. She was born in a leap year, 29th of February, yeah?
Is it something to do with Maltesers, perchance? No.
What you do with Maltesers is nothing to do with me, Linda.
Very good. Very good.
You know, right, okay, aye. Yeah, well, I just clicked on that. I watched it earlier on. There's Seamus going. I went, God, it was the speed of thought and his movement. Fair play to the lad. He scored all sorts of different types of goals, you know. And I think we forget how young he is.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And I think that was his 15th goal of the season. 31 appearances, I think I saw that wee stat kicking about. So a great return from him.
Yes. Fair play to the boy. Bridgeman, obviously with the disappointment of Saturday, it's never great, you know, but since Big Phil's come in, there's a positivity that we didn't see coming. What's your thoughts?
Oh yes, he's transformed, done a big transformation with the team and the players, that is. And a lot of the players who we thought were at it, you know, some of us thought they were at it, well, they're not at it now. Anybody who has any doubts about what this man's intentions is, they better, if any remaining doubts, I should say, and they better change them or just leave. Because he ain't going to take it and he's not going to put up with it, and that's all there is to it. Simple as that. He's come over as a real nice guy for me, and he stands by his club and his team and himself, of course. And he's his own judge and jury. So I can't wish him anything but a really good year and for the rest of the season with Rangers and see what he can do about finalising, bringing people in or whatever he's going to do. However, I'm interested to see what his plan is, of course. I think he's an absolutely superb leader for Rangers.
Leader, aye, that's maybe a good word. By the way, just for the record, I've been corrected calling you the king. People think you're more like an emperor, Bridge.
Emperor? Is that the emperor without any clothes? I don't think so.
You don't having that, no?
No.
No? Bit of Julius Caesar.
That's exactly that. No, I'm not that. I'll leave that to more comfortable guys with that title.
You just sticking with the king then?
I'll stick with whatever you get to call me.
The king. The king, he's all shook up, Wanderer.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, shook up.
He's just a bit of a hound dog.
Oh.
Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel.
Oh, don't be
Oh,
cruel, Linda.
no.
That was really below the belt. Excuse me.
All right, obviously a bit more news today. A predictable, and let's be honest, a predictable response to yesterday. And let's also be honest, Rangers Football Club never put any statements out yesterday, did they? People are putting 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Obviously, it came from someone in the media were about the club, but it wasn't for the Rangers. And a predictable statement for the SFA today. I'm personally not surprised. Am I disappointed? No, I'm not surprised at all. The victors write the history. Things will change. Eventually, we'll win the war. And people might realise that what's been done to Scottish football, one day they might wake up. I see Hearts have asked some questions today, Linda.
Yes, we're not the only club being affected by some of these decisions and the way that the clubs are being treated. I mean, it's absolute hypocrisy that the SFA asked for VAR footage or VAR audio in relation to a Scotland game earlier on in the season, but refused to release the audio initially to Rangers. And down south, when there's been a bad decision or an error or whatever you want to call it, audio's been released into the public domain. I'm like you, Ox. I don't think we'll win this one, but it's going to be part of surely an overall situation. And when are the rest of the clubs in Scottish football going to wake up? It's just when, Ox. Because there's so many errors, there's so many things that's wrong with the game up here, but you just wonder how long and what is it going to take for some of these other clubs to get a bit of backbone.
Yeah, there's no realising what's been done to them. The damage.
So can I ask a question on that one point you said there? What's actually happened as far as Hearts are concerned? Have they made a complaint?
Hearts wanted some clarification on some of the decisions they've had. And if you read the SFA statement, they say that after every round of games, there's a clarification and they speak to all the member clubs or the clubs involved. So
wow,
that's all for debate just alone,
I'm saying that would be absolutely amazing because I don't think the SFA speak to Rangers at all. Anyway,
no, but we don't know. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Of course.
Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that incident with the Hearts boy when he got brought down by the goalkeeper, Linda. I don't know if you picked up on it.
Yeah.
The Stone Waller all day long, wasn't
it? Yeah, it's baffling. Sorry, Bidgen, and it's actually baffling that the referee didn't give it either. And then VAR's supposed to be there to correct these errors. And,
don't talk to me about referees don't gain things, Linda.
No,
I think that the referee on Saturday's getting away. All the focus has been on VAR. When all the focus should be on the second yellows and how he refereed it. That's not the rules of the game. 2 yellow cards, 2 local offences, and you should be off the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. 7 yellow cards they got on Saturday, and it took probably 2 of them to something like the 80 or beyond the 80th minute for 2 or 3 players to get yellow cards that had committed several fouls. And I agree with you, all the focus is on this whole penalty thing, but there were just blatant other parts of that referee's performance that were absolutely shocking. I mean, there was 2 potential other red cards for them, and I think we touched on it before. The one on Sima itself is a potential red card, Ox. Right. It's certainly a second yellow.
Yep, the goal scorer, the guy who scored the first goal, the tackle on Golson, and then you've got Johnson, obviously Johnson, what you said on Sima, And then you've got Callum McGregor, who could have been booked 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Anyway.
Can I come in on that wee bit you just said there? I think Callum McGregor, he's running the gauntlet. Somehow or other, that guy's, shall we say, untouchable. And that's what it seems like. He gets away with the same type of fouls all the time. All the time. They're certainly highlighted among certain members of our persuasion, Rangers fans. But they're very rarely talked about in the press. They think the guy's absolutely fabulous and he's playing really, really well. I don't doubt for a minute he is playing quite well because they're playing as a good team. They play well. But my goodness gracious, they don't have to give away some free kicks or supposedly give away free kicks.
It was obviously the tactic it came for the previous manager that you stop the play as far up the field as you can. You know, and your forwards and your midfielders stop it. And they'll take cards, and especially with the 5 substitutes, it's part of modern football. But he should have been booked. The fouls he had in the first half. Then he's trying to pull. I think it was Sterling who ran away from him and left him for dead, and he's trying to pull his jersey again. It's a yellow card. We're not being vindictive or trying to pick people out. It's just the rules of the game, Linda.
Yeah, and you would expect that if it was your own team for those sort of bookings to be dished out.
Have you heard any of the Rangers support mention the Balogun sending off?
No.
Oh.
Only in the context of it was a kind of situation of our own doing. You know, it wasn't a great pass from Golson. Balogun takes a poor touch. He might have maybe let him go through and we'll take a chance with Butland. But I can see why Balogun did it, but certainly not in terms of it's a definite red. No complaints.
Well, in my opinion, he's a centre half, and he's done what a centre half should do. He's seen the guy who's past him, and he was never going to catch that wee fella. Never. It's the only thing he can do. Bring him down as shall we say, as unconventionally as possible to add to a bit more confusion. But seriously, 100% straight red card. 100%.
Aye. So well, but we bounced back well, Linda, didn't we?
Oh yeah, Alex, it was so important for us to get the 3 points against Kilmarnock. And it wasn't even just because, obviously, to go over the disappointment from the weekend, but we wanted to finish in a positive. And it's been a really positive spell under Philippe Clement, as Bridge said. And December was a tough month for us. But we managed to we managed to probably achieve most of the goals for December when you think about it. You know, the qualifying, getting through to the final of the League Cup, winning that, and then the added bonus of topping our group in the Europa League, beating Betis away 3-2. That game was terrific, and obviously we wanted to try and get a more positive result on Saturday. And I mean, Ox, I do think we deserved something from the game on Saturday. I did think that, there was, possibly we did take our chances, but I don't think you could have argued if we'd maybe got a point in the end up. But overall, getting the victory over Killie, I think it just rounded off a really positive period for us.
Aye. I feel like maybe a point on Saturday. That the record on come on. The results in December would have been just outstanding. Bridge?
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Absolutely. I think, to be honest with you, I think the team's performances, certainly in the last half a dozen games or so, have started to see improvement. And the victories we've had, the wins we've had, absolutely superb. I thought that game against Kilmarnock was a bit tight in the first half. But then they started and they scored 3 absolutely superb goals. Rangers players. I don't understand what somebody says that Kilmarnock were a better team. They weren't a better team at all at any time in the game. They were just doing what they did. The 11 men behind the ball most of the time. And then
I don't know if I agree with that, mate. I don't know if I agree with that.
They pump the ball up and they cause as much havoc as possible. That's their game. Everybody at the back, sort it all out. You can come up the park and play a wee bit of football at times. And the goalkeeper will bring off a wee save or two. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think they were anywhere at all. But if you listen to their manager talking, you would think that the Rangers were a very poor team. That's what you think.
I thought it was one of the more open games at Ibrox, if I'm honest, Linda.
Yeah, I thought Kelly did okay, and they were on a good wee run of form. When you think about it, they'd already beaten us, and they've beaten Celtic twice. So you know he's got them playing reasonably well. I thought they were more attacking than I'd ever really seen them in terms of a Derek McInnes team. Ox, I think he's starting to play a bit more attacking football. They had that chance where Vassell's was right through and another top class save from Jack Butland.
So you might have to slip that in, Linda.
Couldn't resist it. It's a terrific save when you see it just on the slow-mo on Rangers TV, and he comes out and the way that he makes himself so big to basically make the guy put it to the side that he wanted him to, and then he obviously plays it away with his right foot. Terrific save. And then they actually had come into the game, and we got the goal. Probably it was a fantastic time to get it, Ox, because I don't think it looked like we were going to get a goal before half time. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
We didn't get one, we get two, and the two of them were excellent. The first goal was a great move.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Cyril Dessers, the enigma that is our centre forward. He's probably looks better in the assists that he does, doesn't he, than the actual chances he sometimes doesn't take. But it's a fantastic ball, isn't it?
I'm still not talking to him.
And I don't blame you.
You talking about the Cyril Dessers pass?
Yes.
It was a great pass, Bridge.
He controlled the ball brilliantly, still inside his own half. What a beautiful pass he put across. And the young lad did really, really well. Beat the ball with a wee bit of pace and slotted into the net. Absolutely brilliant goal. Great goal. You don't see many like that, I'll tell you. You won't see very many like that.
No, it was a pass. It started about 20 yards from the end goal, you know.
Yeah, absolutely right, pal.
You know, so, right, maybe I get his phone lines opened there. But listen, we want to move on for Saturday. We know it's still fresh in people's minds, you know, always is. But just this last thought, you know, for people who we're just questioning the decision. No, Celtic caused a referee strike. It's as if it never happened, didn't
it? Spot on.
You know. It's true.
You put it very simply. You put it very simply. Yeah, agreed.
You know. So, let's hear from us.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
In the bad debate last night, I want to get used to opinion. We talked about John Lundstrom, obviously. He came out yesterday and said he'd like to stay. Thoughts, Linda?
Well, before Clement came in, in the run-up to the defeat, the Aberdeen game, and obviously Michael Beale leaving, if you'd asked me, I would have said no. But I think John Lundstrom has rediscovered some of his form. You know, it's up for debate whether we think we shake hands with him, we say thanks, and we move on and we get someone else in. Clement seems to like him. Ox, he trusts him. I think he's played, mostly every game under Clement. You've also got to commend him. That was a shocking tackle when he was injured recently, and there he missed one game, and he got himself fit again, and that's him okay to play. So he's a guy that's available a lot. However, it's just a question as to whether you think that he can get better, Ox, and I think that'll be obviously the manager will have his own views. If they offered him an extension to his contract, maybe a couple of years, Ox, maybe that would be the way to go. But as I said, if they do offer him another contract and he stays, then I would be more happy about it now than I would have maybe before Clement came in.
Well, after the away tie against the Cypriot team, I would have gave him another game.
Agreed.
You know, but he's bounced back well, and it's down to the manager. What's your thoughts, Brinch?
Yeah, I think we've swung wide from one end to the other with Lundstrom. We thought he was a really good player, and then we thought every minute his performances were absolutely woeful for big chunks of the season, and it's only half a season really, and he was quite poor. And all of a sudden, I would say the last maybe 4 or 5 games, he's been absolutely outstanding for us. He's a superb player. I mean, really, he looks the part. And why would any club want to get rid of or release John Lundstrom? I don't know what age he is, so forgive me. He might be 29, 30, I don't know. But my goodness gracious, he's still doing it, and he's calm on the pitch. He holds the ball well most of the time. The only difficulty he's got, for me anyway, is he does give maybe 2 or 3 passes away in any one game. But we seem to be able to cover that and get by with it, you know. But I just think he's a smashing player. I would obviously give him, I'll concur with Linda and say that maybe a short contract, to get him through, just to extend. I don't know, as I say, I don't know what age he is. But,
he's 29, Bridge.
29.
I know
So
that,
you're going to
get with myself, yeah.
That's quite good, that one.
He's talking about the leap years again, Bridge.
I know. I think still made me laugh, Linda. Excuse me. I think we could do well getting him as a, shall we say, a backup player. I don't know whether he's capable of going anywhere and earning great money or as much money as he's earning with Rangers. So I would like Rangers to make him the offer and keep him here. Because I think you'll get 2 or 3 seasons out of John Lundstrom. I think you will.
Here's my take on it. If you're signing the Snow on the forum, I get it. I fully understand it. Just if the manager wants to sign him and give him a contract, and it's his decision and he thinks he can build a team that's better with John Lundstrom in it, I think we have to back the manager. Yeah, if he thinks he's an integral part, yeah, it doesn't matter if you like him, dislike him, or you think he shouldn't be there, because we're either all in with this guy, because if we don't go all in, it's not going to work. Let him build his own team and squad. Now, whether John Lundstrom becomes an integral part going forward, or we get better than John Lundstrom and he's got to up his game to get in the team, hopefully that's the case, Linda.
Yeah, that I would agree, Ox. As you say, if we do bring in better, then obviously he's fighting to get a shirt, because just now he's, you know, when he is fit, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. It's whether or not, as you say, can we get an upgrade? It comes down to finances sometimes. But you know, he's got I think he did, as you say, he wants to stay. If the club don't offer him a contract, he's free to talk to other clubs, and you know, obviously he's got to look out for himself and his family. He seems to be quite happy up here as well, Ox. I think his child was born here, and he's spoken about that before. But as we say, he needs to keep up his performances, because we don't want John Lundstrom just dropping back to the way he plays at times when he's frustrated is all. But as you say, on forum, if the manager thinks I want to keep him, then I would support Clement 100% in that.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair, Bridge.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. You can't. As far as I'm concerned, I support Clement. Unquestioned, no questions about him. So he looks like the man, and he does everything we've been asking for a manager to do. And if he says, I agree with you, if he says, I want Lundstrom, then we want Lundstrom. As simple as that. I don't think you're doing too much wrong with Lundstrom. And as Linda pointed out, he's settled down, he's got a child up here. So as long as him and his wife are happy, then that's all that matters. Lundstrom will gladly come out. But I do say this.
Well, he earns good money, mate. He doesn't earn that much money. His wife will be happy.
That's a never-ending one, that one, isn't it?
Oh,
but
it's a contradiction of terms, that.
I just think that Lundstrom would do Rangers a turn I would like to see Rangers bringing in a real good quality, if it's possible, a real good quality midfielder who can do the business for us.
I'll get the dubbing out, Rich. I'll get the dubbing out.
Get the dubbing out, aye.
Anyway, I've been joined by David. Evening, David.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi David,
All right,
Happy
mate.
New
How's
Year,
your
pal.
good self? Happy New Year,
Yeah.
mate.
David,
Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Aye. What's on your mind, mate?
Right, I mean to keep this extremely brief because I think we're all sick of hearing about it, right? But it's about the VAR thing. I'd also like to ask a quick point about Hadji after it. So
Aye.
the thing about VAR, I think as of next season we should run this as a trial. See every Old Firm game domestically. Come to an arrangement with some other football association, maybe England if they're not too expensive, preferably England because they know the Scottish game better, and get officiators and a VAR team for those games, because this back and forth paranoia is just not going to stop. You know, one of us will say that was a blatant handball, Celtic fan will come back, or what about Goldson last year, and it's just back and forth. I just wondered what you thought about that, and I think it's a possibility. I don't see it being a major problem. You're talking
I've
6-8 games a season.
I've got a simple view on it, mate. Simple view on that. I get your point, but my take on it is, for a Scottish club, we are a Scottish club playing in Britain, and we're proud of that. We play in the Scottish League, which unfortunately is governed by our governing body, with the officials coming from Scotland. And I think if you done that, where do you go with anybody else in the league when they have different officials for different games? I don't think it could be done. I understand you.
I would follow, see where your point there. Here's what I would also follow with, because you could extend that. What you could do is, when the season splits, do the same for the top 6 every game. And then the rest of the teams will maybe see just how bad Scottish officiating is and how things need to change. Especially, it's mainly the VAR thing at this point. In English, for example, have got 4 years experience. Even if we just had the VAR teams, maybe, never mind if we kept officials. I don't know. I just think it's something we should consider, have a talk about. Do you know what I mean? Not just over the phone tonight, but like...
On practicalities of how I don't think it would work. I think you've got to recognise it where you play. And remember, it wasn't because the referee strike. Linda, in you come.
David, I understand the sentiments and what you're actually suggesting there. You know, we were talking about it as a family, and we were saying we better bringing in, you know, for the Old Firm games, just bringing in referees out with this country. Totally understand where you're coming from. But like Locke said, I don't think it would happen anyway, David, because the SFA, the Scottish authorities here, it would be an admission from them that their referees aren't good enough. And that's actually a good point. Yeah, what they should be doing as well, David, is they should be trying to make their referees better. They're not full time either. I know whether or not that would make them better, I don't know, but it would surely make them a bit more professional. I just think in terms of the Old Firm games, the hype from the media and the way that they overanalyse every decision, it just feels like, for us, you know, maybe Celtic fans feel that their decisions are overanalysed. I don't know.
I think it goes both ways sometimes. You know what I mean? I think sometimes they feel hard done by, we feel hard done by, and we're either accusing them of secret societies or they're accusing us of secret societies, and it goes that mental and far. And that's kind of the only, it's toxic. I mean, it gets toxic after a while, and people are just arguing back and forth all the time. And I mean, we shouldn't be still talking about VAR at this point. It's been how long? Over a week, almost. And, but anyway, we'll leave that there. The other thing I briefly wanted to ask was, how are we feeling about Hadji? Do we want him back for next season? If so, what position? I think he could play an 8 or a 6, no bother personally. But over to you.
I better take the 5th on this one. Bridgman.
Okay.
I think Hadji, no offence to anyone, he's been away from Ibrox for a long time. A lot of fans have, shall we say, not even given him a thought, to be quite honest.
No, he's always split the support.
Yeah, well, there you are. I just don't think he should be back at Rangers. If we could get money for him, I think we should take it. Because one of these days, his contract's going to come up for renewal, and we're not going to be ready for it, and there's going to be a big argument with the fans, and everybody shouting at each other or whatever, because he's a fantastic player when he hits his form. He's scored some fabulous goals for us. He's got us through into Europe a number of times. He's been really, really good in that sense. But there are other games you've seen him, he's just been a pale shadow of the player that we know he is. And I don't know what
I think there's a few things you'd have to take into account. No, I mean, he has had nearly 2 years out and he's had a lot of struggles that way. The other unfortunate thing right now is this Alaves, I always struggle to pronounce that. The team he's away to, their managers, to put it politely, a wee bit of a nut job. And I don't think he's settled there at all. So he's not really getting a chance to shine over there either. I think there's a player in there and I think he just needed a season. And in that sense, I would maybe give him one season just to see what he could do.
Can I ask you a question?
Even get him in. Sure,
Can I ask you a question? Say his name was, I don't know, Tam Brown. Would they have had all the recognition and the chances?
No, I really don't go with that because he's the son of Hadji and like that. I mean, Celtic they're maybe getting excited about the son of Van Hooijdonk and that. I think that's a bit. I personally wouldn't put any weight on it. I mean, I liked Hadji as a player. He scored that belter a goal in the World Cup, but he's not high and married, and so I don't really get the Hadji surname does nothing for me personally, honestly.
Well, he was up there.
A factor for me. I just honestly, see towards the end of last season as well, I saw him in Cantwell. I used to watch the two of them close, and they would switch themselves between the 8 and the 6, and it was beautiful to watch at times. And I don't know. I think sometimes we don't need to stand in mids. I think there's room for somebody like Hadji who doesn't get the pace. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, he's a technically gifted footballer, right? He's got he can play with both feet, which not everybody can do, Linda. He can finish, he can shoot, and he has a shot. And
as well.
I'm not going to say I was one of his harshest critics, but in the week out, he lacked consistency for me. He done a lot of good things, and then when he disappeared completely. But I genuinely think we missed him in the run in Gio's first season in charge domestically. I think he would have chipped in with some goals and assists that maybe got us extra points in that first season when we went to Seville. Wonder.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ox. I mean, he used to frustrate us a lot. He would disappear in games. We would want him to get on the ball and really influence, the performances. A wee bit like sometimes we've felt maybe Cantwell this season. Cantwell did really well in his first 6 months, but this season we've maybe been looking for him to get involved a bit more. I think he will. I think he will come good, Todd Cantwell, though. But the thing about Hadji was, I don't know. I think when he went to Alaves, I think he was getting quite a lot of pitch time. Ox. Now, David, you might know this more than me, but I don't think he's been getting much of a run out. So that's a wee bit. I don't
think that manager likes him at all. That manager does not like him.
Yeah, because
it seems to me, at least from what I've heard.
We wanted him to go there and have a good season and get minutes in his, in his legs and getting games under his belt and come back to us in the summer, and then, Clement could have a good look at him. That'll maybe happen anyway, David,
Yeah, maybe look at him over the summer.
Yeah, he'll come back.
I honestly think he's better as a 6 or an 8. I don't know, maybe in Scottish football. I think when he said he'd done a lot better in Europe, but in the Scottish game, he was found wanting, and he wasn't. Maybe if we dropped him back a wee bit, he's not got the pace he had before his injury. I don't know. Anyway, what was I going to say? That was about it. I would give him, if no a season, then at least have a good look at him over the summer when he comes back.
It'll be interesting to see it because he's very marketable. I mean, yeah, he's got the name. I disagree with you. I think he gets favours because his name. He's very, very marketable. Look at the brands he's involved with.
That's another thing we have to think of. The marketing potential.
I
think that's... Sorry to interrupt, but that is probably part of the reason we chucked in our contract in, because we saw the commercial side of it.
We projected an asset, David, yeah?
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I think we're going to get a good price after this Alaves season. I'm just going to start calling them the Lave.
Well, he started. I've been sent. I've just been started. He started.
It's Spanish for the Vavi.
He started 14 games over there. He's had 1 assist and no goals, David.
What position are they playing him in? They playing him in his preferred position. How much of this manager carry-on's affecting him? I don't know. But okay. Well, I think we can agree. I think if we game the summer in pre-season, when you can maybe keep him this season at least. I would definitely keep him for a season, but I'm not like, come on.
What would you take if somebody came in and offered? I don't know.
See, this is the thing with me. I see a long-term market value in him if we hang on to him and it goes well. Whereas a lot of other Rangers fans, like maybe quite a few I'm speaking with now, would just, you know what, if we get 2 million, just run with it. I would want to bank at least what we paid for him, if no.
What did we pay for him? Was it 3.5?
4 and a bit, 4-1. If somebody walked in and said there's 6 million, I'd be like, okay, go.
What are you basing the 6 million on?
Well, there's the commercial value that we don't appreciate enough. I don't know so much about football commercial, how that all works, but that could be money to the club that we don't even take into account. We're thinking about a sale price for him that the club themselves will be more thinking about. Do you know what I mean? There might be potentially, I don't know, I'm just going to pull it out thin air. Over 3 years, we might get 2 million commercially via him, via deals, things like that. I don't know if that's the price, but maybe that is something that the fan in the terrace will only take into account, whereas the people, the commercial people.
I don't think he brings in about 2% of our turnover.
No, it was I pulled that out of there just as an example. I'm not saying that's what he would make. Do you know what I mean? It was just a pure ballpark figure out of fresh air.
Well, he's very remarkable. He's very remarkable. Again, whether he's good enough is another debate, mate.
As I say, I would drop him back. To 8 or 6. And see how that goes pre-season, and then make a decision at that point.
I don't see it, mate. Personally, I don't see it. Okay. I think his only position to make things happen is another number 10. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He could play that Lammers position, no bother. I think better than Lammers.
Which man could play Lammers position?
I don't know about that right enough. What position does he have?
I think it'd be an improvement. I think it'd definitely be an improvement.
I can assure you it would be an improvement. It would be, even although I'm nearly 77, I'd be an improvement. I think, look, probably get any more sympathy and admiration in the same breath for Hadji than me. I just think he's been away, that things have been forgotten. Will he be able to come back to Rangers and recreate the thing that he could do for Rangers in the first place? I do think so.
There's a lot of Rangers fans pining for him, let me tell you.
Don't get me wrong. I know
Rangers fans that have just
forgot about him. I remember 5 or 6 of the games that he played for us where he was completely outstanding, pulled off great moves, great setups.
Do you remember him selling free Celtic players for a hot dog towards the end of last season?
I've got nothing at all.
On the corner, you're rating your books, and he was under a lot of pressure, 3 Celtic players on him, and he danced through them all.
He's a good player. He's a good player when he's on his game. The difficulty is it was getting him on his game. I don't know whether the managers that were through there has caused any problem with him. However,
definitely. Did you see how he reacted at the? Sorry to interrupt. That Lave manager, the way he reacted, right? They were playing Real Madrid. They were winning 1-0. Real scored with 10 men in the 89th minute, and he absolutely lost it. If you look at maybe search on YouTube or something, you'll see it for yourself. The guy's a crazy horse, and it's not the first time I've heard that about him. He's a bit volatile, this did. But anyway, have a look at him against Real Madrid. Sorry, man.
I'll be interested to see how it pans out. Listen, I know that I've maybe been critical of Hadji in the past, but I wish him nothing but the best. And I think he always comes across as a top bloke. And how unfortunate he was so young to get that. It was a real bad injury.
Terrible injury. That could have been a career ender. Easily.
And I really think we missed him in that 6 months after that, domestically, because I'm not saying he set it on fire, but he was always likely to score a goal, make a goal. You never know what could have been. You just never know. You know,
He's
but
kind of like Lundstrom in a way as well. I mean, you could look at Europa Lundstrom versus Premier. You can make the same argument. SPFL, apart from obviously when he's been playing brilliant since Clermont's come in, but Looney wasn't a good league player. He was a much better Europa player than he was. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think you can point that finger at quite a few people. Like Hadji's a better player in Europe. Looney, I can't think of any other examples off one, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Right, I'm sorry to rabbit on. I've been on.
No, that's all right, mate. Good to hear from you, mate. Good to hear from you.
Thanks for having me on.
Good
Cheers.
points. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon.
Right.
Cheers, David.
See you later.
Cheers, David.
Cheers,
Bye.
Bye.
Some good points for David. Unusual for a David on here to make good points, Linda.
Very good, very good.
You'll be sticking pins in my doll, Linda, won't you?
Oh, I know, it will be. It will be. It's interesting about the Hadji situation because I think Ox, we were hoping that he needed to play football, as you say, terrible injury. We wanted him to go to Alaves, have a good season there, so he would come back to us in really good form, or because he played well there, maybe another club would come in and offer us quite a good bit of money for him. But unfortunately, it looks as if it's a bit of a sticking point for him now because I think he's only gets, as you said, 14 appearances, not that many starts. So I don't know. He'll be frustrated because he's went out there, Ox, to try and get himself, up to sort of peak fitness. And if he's not getting a chance to play, then that's a real difficulty for him. And I think he's there for the year, Ox, isn't he? He's there for the season.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if he pans out, and I'll be interested to see what the manager does. I don't think Hadji's the kind of boy who'll hang about, because he'll want to play. And he'll get a club. Whether we'll get the money we want from him, it's up for debate, but he'll definitely get somebody who'll come in and get him because he has got a name. He isn't the worst player you've ever seen. He can be exciting, and he's also got. He's still relatively young, but he's been unlucky. It was tragic because it came out of nothing, that injury.
Yeah.
One of 14.
Yeah. As much as I was critical of him, Bridge, I've never disliked the Hadji. I always thought he came across as somebody with a real good attitude and he had something about him. But it's just that when my frustration was when he was Lammers-like and he's disappeared, if that makes sense. There was times when he didn't play well, you didn't even know he was on the pitch.
Yeah, that's a gospel truth. That's gospel truth.
But
I think if even he came back, because our manager has obviously got the decisions to make. Do they bring him back to the continent, or do we ask him to go and find a club himself, or do we find a club for him, and so on and so forth? These are the questions that have got to be asked, and we might something money in there to get him moved on. We might just have to do that. I just don't. I think it's unfair on him, to be honest. But I don't know if he would want to come back here and go through another lengthy period. Will I get a game? Will I get a no? I know. Will I get a contract extension? Or will I know? That kind of thing. It might be far more beneficial to go and negotiate himself with another club and get himself a good contract.
Yeah. He'll not be the young player that we brought in the door, Linda. Was that 4 years ago? Was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, did we have him on loan first and then we brought him in a permanent deal?
Yeah, I think it was 4 years ago, wasn't
it? Yeah.
I mean, he played reasonably well for us and made things happen. The 55 season, the season before that with the Braga game, so that was, would be 4 years. And so he's maybe grown up with our club and I wish him nothing but the best. The boy deserves a break with that injury, you know.
Yeah. Romania have also qualified for the Euros, Ox, and he
got the goal. He got the winner.
Yeah, he's played an integral part. He's very well thought of, in Romania. He's very well thought of. If you read Turkish football as well, he's always been linked with clubs there, and where he's playing just now, it's a tough league that, and maybe another European country would maybe suit him better when he's playing in a better team, in certain leagues. But in saying that, young Had, he loved playing for us, Ox, and he'll be wanting to come back and maybe try and prove to the new manager that he's worth keeping on.
Yeah, I just think that ship might have sailed. I just think if we can get a decent offer, it might be gone. But anyway, that's only my opinion. I've been wrong before. I remember it well.
What year was it again?
Well, 3 weeks ago.
I can't remember the year he always says, Bridge. He'll need to change
Linda,
it now.
he's a shocker. The man's an absolute shocker, I can tell you. Shocker. Wow. I remember it well.
Yes, it happens to the best is, but you know the rules, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
You know the rules. Look, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. We've went to the transfer window. We've brought in a player. I think it looks as if maybe he's going to be playing the centre forward role for us, Linda. What position would you like to see strengthened next? I'll put that out to the listeners. And I'll give you the same question, Linda.
I would still like another out-and-out centre forward, Ox. I think Fabio Silva, what we're led to believe, can play across the front line, but I don't think he's he's not top of the pops, as they say, in terms of goal scoring numbers. So I think I would still like us to go and get an actual centre forward. Whether we will or not, I don't know. It's funny because a couple of weeks ago the midfield was looking really, really bare in terms of numbers, but we're starting to get some players back in that position, and we've also stumbled across somebody, Ox, who I think could be a star for us in there, in young Sterling. So it will be interesting to see what the manager does.
Oh, he's mustard. He's mustard. Yeah, he's just.
Sorry, Ox, we're a wee bit slow.
Bridge, keep up.
Keep up. It's not me. Oh boy.
Many times did we say that joke when he actually signed for us?
I know. It wasn't any good the first time.
No. He's been absolutely fantastic though, isn't he, in midfield? Did you see that wee clip that was doing when he did the pirouette? And he was fantastic.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, I never seen it. I didn't see that coming.
No.
We put a boy in the midfield, and it was needs must, and we need nobody else, and then when we took the 10 men at their place, and we've talked about all the decisions. What about that guy's performance with 20 minutes to go? He was playing them on his own.
Certainly seemed that way, didn't it?
The drive and the determination, and
Yeah, I must admit, he's look, for who he is and where he's come from. My God Almighty, it's like, how can I say this? It's like, he just looks big Bassy. How come big Bassy? All of a sudden, Bassy explodes onto the scene. My goodness gracious, this boy's done the same thing, and it's very similar, and had a fantastic game against them. I know. Hopefully, the manager doesn't throw him in every game, because the position he's going to be playing is quite a tough position. So he's got to get a chance to sort of rest and go back on again. But what a player, what a performance. If we can get a number of performances like that out of the boy, then he's got a great future.
mean, if that's him playing in a position that he can play in a bit, he can play better at right back. Wonder what a right back he must be.
Definitely, Ox. Yep. The thing about that is that Tav will continue to play there, won't he? Touchwood, Tav doesn't get any injuries, but you know, I just don't see him even getting, you know, left out of the team even for a rest. Maybe that'll happen next season. But with young Dijon, maybe now, Ox, it's just a case of we've found a position for him, and maybe Clement will just think, well, you know, we'll keep him in mind for right back, and he will be covered there if we need it, but let's really try and get the best out of him in that midfield position. He's got a terrific shot as well, hasn't he? And I'd like to see him maybe add some goals to his game, Ox, because we need to get that from the midfield. But it might actually save us quite a bit of money as well going forward.
Yeah, I must admit, I didn't see it coming, and fair play to the boy. What an attitude, what an engine, and the pace that we've never seen when his cameos. I've never seen it. Where did it come from? Well, you know, it's you talk about. I talked about John Lundstrom earlier on, Wonder, and I'll put it to you this way: at this moment in time, if you were picking the team in form, for some people, Dijon might, apart from Sir Jack Butland, of course, but for some people, he might be the first name down in the team sheet if you were picking your best 11 on form.
Yeah,
no reputation, on form.
Yeah, I would agree, absolutely. And when you think about going forward, you've obviously got young Raskin coming back. You know, Lundstrom's hit some good form. You've got Dijon and Sterling. You know, it's quite it's looking quite good. You know, if we can just try and keep these players fit. And if you do get somebody like Ryan Jack back, we're not going to hang our hat on Ryan. Ryan Jack would actually struggle to get into that midfield just now anyway, Ox, if you're looking at it on form, as you say. And as I said, we just can't rely on him anymore. But yeah, young Sterling. First, I know he left him out in the Kelly game, but I think that was because he played a lot of minutes, Ox, I think.
Aye, and he brought him on, and I think it'd be interesting. It'd be great. I mean, I'd love to have a chat with a manager and just off the record and see what he actually thinks, what the guy's position is.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think he would he'll tell you straight, if he keeps playing him in there, we could have stumbled on something. It's happened before in football, Bridge, isn't it? People have started one position, something happens, and bizarrely they end up.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think I mentioned Big Bassey, and what we did with Big Bassey is give him the stage, i.e. the Europa League thing, and he blossomed, and he got a really good move, and a good move for Rangers too, for that matter. And the same thing could happen to young Sterling. I don't know how much the manager is going to play him in the midfield area if he's got a preference for fullback. Personally, I would send him to a good coach who will batter that. I want to play fullback thing out his head, if indeed it's in his head, because I think he's found a place where he can shine in the midfield for Rangers, which is a huge club. And they play a tough league every week. They're trying to get kicked off the park by some of the teams. So he's got a good chance to come on and do what he needs to do. And he's a big, strong lad. He can look after himself that way.
Yeah, nobody's counting him off a Parkland, did it?
No, absolutely not. No, definitely not, Ox.
You know, right in the second part of the show, we're going to look at the announcement that came from the club today about the new singing section. Bridge will be auditioning.
Oh, nice one. I'll be up dancing with them when they're doing the bouncing or that, definitely, for sure.
Mr. Brigesgrove up on a night in Edmonton. How Rangers get talent, you need to go up and sing, they see if you get a seat.
Magic. Just magic.
You know?
Love it.
Aye.
Wow.
Aye, it's things are there's a lot of things going well at the club at the moment, Lindera.
Yeah, there's a real positive vibe around the club. You know, obviously what's been happening on the pitch helps, winning a trophy. You know, we've got a good manager, and there's still a lot to come from the manager as well. And, you know, when he gets some of his own players in, and, you know, he's worked wonders with the players that he's got as well. And I think he just focuses on what's ahead of, what's ahead of him without thinking too far ahead, I think. But I think he obviously will have some thoughts around that already, Ox. The commercial side of it, the work we're doing in the stadium, Edmondson House, new Edmondson House, it is very positive. You know, as a club, we always think that we can do better, and you want to strive to be better, you know, in any walk of life, in any job. But there's definitely a positive vibe around the club.
Yeah, 100%, 100% on that one. It's, the club's going to go, and it's going to go forward and forward and forward. And this guy's going to drive us. With a bit of luck, this guy's going to drive us, and we'll be able to shake off some, I would say, poor results or even bad scores or something like that. We'll be able to do that with the guy, and he hopes I think he said he's building the confidence, and he's happy with the players have done up to now. Hopefully, he's going to go out in the market before long and bring in a few players. That's what I'm hoping. I dare say a lot of Rangers fans are hoping for it too, you know, if not all of them.
I think we'll get another couple of players in tops. I think there could be some outs. Yeah, I think some people could leave, some French players maybe. You know, some maybe even a loan lender, because the problem is some of the moves they'll not get the same money, so they'll not leave. You know, it's a problem we've got being this massive fish in a small pond, isn't it?
Yeah, and I would imagine he'll be starting to have some talks with some players, and it could be that he'll be saying to them that you're not going to get any, you know, a lot of minutes here. You're not going to get a lot of pitch time. And as you say, Ox, though, they always hold all the cards. The players have got to agree to go. You've got to get an offer in for them, and they've got to agree to go. But if you get somebody or a couple of them that really want to play football, they might even, you know, think that their long-term their football future doesn't lie with us. So they might need to go out and loan to try and generate some interest from other clubs. You know, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I'd imagine that Clement will be fairly honest with the Ox. He won't mess them about, and he won't be frightened even at this stage to say to some of the players that they maybe don't have a future with us.
Yeah. Listen, it's the most difficult part of management, getting rid of players. And you might like them personally, you know, Bridge, but you've got a job to do, and it's not personal, but it's difficult, isn't it? But I don't think Clement will shirk. He's wanting to build something there.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, of course, in my opinion, and I dare say there's going to be a lot of Rangers fans would agree with me, when he brings new players in, depending on the type of contract, but if they're our players and not loanees, then good chances there's going to be one in, maybe two out. You know what I mean? It might work out that way, because he can't bring people in and just keep them on the wage bill. It just can't happen. I dare say, and I don't see how he can go on with the same, with adding and adding. Players that are already there and he doesn't fancy, then you have to leave in somewhere, even if we just give him a freedom and say, well, you go and get us on our club, and until you get a new club, we'll be paying you. Finished. Just get them in.
Right. Okay, we've reached that time of evening. Boys and girls, get yourself a mute. We're going to have a tune.
All along the walls of the Ibrox halls are pictures of legends of old, making history for the world to see. The stories of glories unfold. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers. about when we face the world and say, bring it on some more, 'cause you know for sure that we don't do walk away. We don't do walk away. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Aye. So what did you make of the announcement today? Obviously it's been talked about before, but it was formed up today and with the official announcement and the start of the plans of how it's going to be done. And it's going to put potentially another 1,000 people are going to get the Ibrox, which is a good revenue stream once you paid for the work. Again, positives. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And I think with the singing section, they'd obviously trialled it for a couple of games, didn't they, the friendlies? And I think everybody thought it was a good idea. It was a good, sort of idea to move them. And I know that it's going to affect, certain fans in the Copeland. And in reading what the club have says, they've come up with a number of options for the fans that will be affected. And hopefully, it will suit them in terms of, potentially moving. They're going to try and keep them together with sort of friends and family that they sit with now. But they have consulted with a lot of different people, including the players and the management staff, and then obviously fans groups as well. So hopefully it'll be, it'll be a satisfactory conclusion for everybody. But I do have certain sympathies for those that will be affected by it, Ox. And if they maybe don't want to move, they've sat in the same seat for a long number of years.
There'll be people there since, 87? 87. And that's when they Copeland season tickets. Yeah. So you're talking about some people been there for about nearly 36 years.
Yeah.
So they've only sat in the same seats with the same people running about them, and hopefully everybody gets a compromise that suits them all. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if you've been a season ticket holder for 36 years in the one seat with maybe your family, etc., you do deserve a bit of respect. Yeah.
Definitely, Ox. I totally agree with you. As I say, I think the singing section, they're going to be at the traditional Rangers end. They do generate like a real good atmosphere around the stadium. I think everybody agrees with that. And it's quite good that they are going to be, as I said, at the traditional Rangers end. And as you said, if people do want to actually be a member of the singing section, they can ask to be. So maybe we'll see Bridge in there.
Yeah. I think it's a tremendous idea if you're going to do any type of extension at Ibrox. And this cantilever solution that they're going to come up with, I think it's going to give 3 or 4 rows out the way, It's going to look really good, And I hope it works, because if they could put 1,000 people up and the top, the Copeland rear, it'd be tremendous, really good. But actually, I think of it anyway, But the problem is, will the view from the whatever, like ourselves and the boys doing it in front of the court there, will their view of the goal be different when they add these seats in? Obviously, put the trust in the Rangers that they're going to make sure it's all right. But I want a great idea. Bring in.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? You're talking about an average. The next 30 seats is what? I don't know, 30. I'll say an average £30 when you take families, OAPs, and normal pay. So 30,000 times what? 30 matches of the season, that'll bring in an extra £1 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and as we said earlier, it's all just part of Rangers, growing as a club and trying to come up with these innovative ways to actually increase the capacity, Ox. I mean, it's not easy, isn't it? It's, they've talked about, lowering the pitch. They're talking about filling in the corners, completely the corners. They want to improve the facilities for disabled fans as well. So they're going to have to, really kind of think out the box at times. And if any more revenue that can be brought into the club's a good thing. And what have we got, Ox? Is it maybe 10 or 15,000 people on the waiting list? Maybe even more than that now for a season ticket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many's actually on the list, yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting, yeah. So let's say there's 10,000 waiting in London. There's better than 1,000, so hopefully that'll be 1,000 people who are on that list who can get sorted, yeah.
Yeah, it would be good because, and I know it's all kind of linked to my Jers now as well, and we maybe don't want to go down that road, but certainly if you get offered a season ticket, you would absolutely take it now because it is more difficult to actually, to get into a position where you qualify for one.
Yeah. I've got my own views on season tickets when people don't sit with their friends and all that. I think there's pluses and minuses. Obviously, there's pluses for individuals, myself included, where you've got your seat that you rent, but you don't go to the game with your friends anymore in the actual game, Linda. Yeah, which is a change for the past, shall we say?
Okay, and actually, there's a lot of people that go themselves anyway at times, Ox. If you've not got a season ticket and you're picking up ones when fans do the seat sub, and you just go and you just join in and you talk to the person that's next to you.
To be fair, some of my pals you wouldn't want to sit next to anyway. But anyway.
I hope he's not talking about you, Linda.
No, I hope he's not, Bridge.
Probably me, actually.
You were on the list, Bridge. You were on the list.
Well, yeah, on the list.
I can only see it's a good thing. I mean, somebody thinks if anybody wants to come and give their thoughts, and anybody's been affected by the move, what's their thoughts on it? Because obviously, if people don't like change, Linda,
Oh, I know, and as you said, if you've sat in the same seat for over 30 years, and you become used to it. It's it's the part of the stadium that you go to. You see familiar faces, but this new, they're calling it this new cantilever section, and they're talking about a real upgrade in the actual seats, and people are going to be offered them as a first priority. So maybe people will get a pleasant surprise, Ox, at the view that they're going to have.
There you go, Bridge. You might get a lazy boy.
Anything's possible, isn't it? Truth be told, anything's possible. I think it's much like Linda says there. It's going to be fantastic. That's for sure. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love the thought of it. I really hope everything goes all right. That the fans like it. That's the most important thing. The fans like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, every 6 months something seems to be happening, Linda. Blue Sky Lounge, Edmondson House, the museum getting sorted, do this, a lot of things are coming together slowly. Yeah, everything's not perfect. We know that there's lots can be done, and if we had more revenue and more money, there's lots we can do, but you've just got to keep doing what you can do.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, we're a massive club. We're a worldwide club in terms of our fan base, but we play in quite a small league. And we also, it's difficult for us to make any money in this country because of some of the deals that have been signed, sponsorship-wise. We better not go down that route. We've talked about that before. As a product, we don't think it's marketed properly. Could be better, Ox. So we've got to take advantage of other revenues, and we've got to make sure that we're forward-thinking as a club in our own right. And making just as you say, the museum, New Edmondson House, I mean, that's a fantastic venue. It's getting used by, people out with football as well for concerts and, forums and different things are happening at New Edmondson House. The museum itself, obviously most fans will have maybe gone by now.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I think Big Stevie's looking to hire it for him and Southside to launch their fashion products.
What's that?
Big Stevie's moving into the fashion game with the Dream Team Wednesdays t-shirts.
I thought you were going to say something about who ate all the pies or something.
Well, you could have that on the back. You could get.
Shocking, Linda. You're a shocking.
Sorry, Stevie, you're still my favourite.
I would never say anything like that.
Oh, you'll kill me.
Imagine the bringing up the catwalk bridge.
Imagine that. A model. You know what I mean? And ate all the pies on the catwalk. Oh, brilliant.
I'm going to put it past them for the first fashion display in Edmondson House.
I know. I wonder, Ox, how many people have actually been to the museum. I wonder what the footfall's been through the doors since it opened. I'd imagine it'd be a fair few folk have been.
I had the privilege of Mr. Fox and myself and a couple other people done it. I went with Fox. We said we would, I don't know why, but we said we would do it together. And I enjoyed it. I've got to be honest, Mr. Fox got stung at the time. It was quite entertaining, but that's another story. I thought Bridge was with us. I really enjoyed it. We were actually going to eat in the Blue Sky Lounge, so we didn't have as much time as we could have had, and even then we still enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent. You're always a bit sceptical, Bridge, and you think, how's this going to pan out? But it was excellent. I thought it was excellent, and I can just see many a kid, and when the weather's like this time of the year, and there's nothing on this Sunday, get put in the motor, took you there and dragged around that for an hour to fill up at a time,
Absolutely. By the way, that's a cracking idea, isn't it? It's brilliant. I think Rangers, the club's doing a really good job that way. I think that Edmondson House is absolutely tremendous, just tremendous. And it's one of these places. There's believe it or not, there's always someone walking around about Ibrox, nearly all the time. And a wee place to go and sit down and have a cup of tea or a pint of beer after or whatever. That's it. If they can do that, they'll bring in a lot of people.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we get the figures for the football and how many footfall will end up in it. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And I think Rangers had also said as well that in terms of the items that they were able to put in it, there was loads and loads that they'll be able to change it. So that if you've been once, if you go back, I don't know how often they're going to do that, but you'll be able to go back and there'll be different things that you'll be able to see, which I think is very good as well. It'll be evolving. Mm-hmm. The other thing is the new sports bar. I can't remember when they said, is that going to be opened for the the beginning of the next season, because that's going to be something as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and somewhere else, and another revenue stream and another facility for fans to improve the match day experience, you know. All positives for me, Linda. Bridge?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The more they can do, sort of please the fans. I mean, the place is bouncing when you're standing there listening to it, everything's all going on. And when they come back with a cup, oh man, the place was just tremendous to see. So I'm delighted for Rangers. I'm delighted for all the fans, and I just love to see what's happening with Rangers going forward. All good stuff, all good. And we need to, as a club, from top to bottom, we need to try and keep it that way. That it's all good. We need to be good.
Have you done the museum yet, Bridge? I know you've been.
No, I haven't done the museum part, pal. But I'll do it. I'm now fighting myself back to fitness again.
You've failed a few fitness tests in the last few weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
More soap for the wife. No, you're not going
to. And I know you've done it, Linda. What was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was terrific. I wasn't sure what to expect, and you know, when the first bit you go in the entrance, when it's just obviously, you know, just all the voices and all the voiceovers, the sounds of the crowd, and just like the commentary, I think it's a brilliant start when you go into it. It just makes you want to go further on, and all the different sections. You know, I thought it was very, very cleverly done. As I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, Ox. I mean, you could spend as much time as you want in it, couldn't you? You can, you know, if you've got to get around it quickly, fair enough. But you know, you could easily, as you say, if you stick the kids in the car and take them over, and there's lots of interactive stuff as well, which is very good. But that new Edmondson House, I know it cost us a lot of money, Ox, and it ended up being a bit more expensive than what they'd first set out. But it's just absolutely terrific. As Bridge just said to there, I went back and watched the wee footage from the League Cup final there, you know, a couple of days ago, and I watched them the bit where they went back to New Edmond House, the players on the balcony, all the fans. It was just absolutely fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, it's an asset. And obviously it brings in revenue, and you know, and for the people using it in match days, it improves the match day experience for hundreds of, if not thousands. The shop's better, it's bigger. Yeah, you've got the cafe bar works, I think, for every time apart from match days, Linda, which obviously never going to be big enough, is it? You know.
No. I mean, even the size of the shop, it could be 3 times the size it is. It's just because, as you say, on match days there's thousands of people there. It's nice to go over when it's not a match day, and as you say, have a walk round the shop, go up and have a coffee. You know, and when the new sports bar opens, as I said earlier, that'll be another facility for people to use. I just think it's really great just to see the club being forward thinking. You know, Ox, we really are a modern club now.
Yeah, there was only one thing that disappointed me about the museum, Bridge.
Go on then.
The fact that Fox's white leather jacket wasn't in a glass case.
The old Fox's white leather jacket. Wonderful.
White leather safari jacket.
Yeah, I love
to
it.
put the record.
All safari jackets.
The fact that he thought he looked good in it, that's what shocked me, you know what I mean? But he did say that he looked good in anything at that time of his life.
You know, you can't fault taste, can you?
No. I asked him if he still had the receipt for it. He said that's a different story. Anyway, any thoughts on? Obviously, we go into that through the cantilever, the extra seats, Kieran, but with financial fair play, Linda, these things are important, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they dictate what you can spend.
Because you know, we always think it would be great if we could get somebody to come in and just plough millions into a football club, but that's not even viable at times as well, Ox, because you've got to watch the financial fair play. I know it seems to work in certain clubs, but when you're looking at what the rules say, in terms of, you can't spend a certain percentage of your income, you can't spend more than that. So you've got to make sure that you can generate as much revenue as possible. So it's just something that the club are going to have to do again going forward. We've got to keep thinking, as I said earlier, out the box. How can we get revenue, new revenue streams? Our marketing department, commercial marketing department have performed really well. James Bisgrove done so well that he was promoted. So the guy that's took over from him's got to obviously live up to that. And I know it's an understatement, Ox, but success on the park is something that is just going to obviously help that, because if we're doing what we support our club anyway, but it doesn't have to make you want to go over if you've won something or spend more money, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of maybe stuff that was bought the Monday after the Aberdeen Cup final that wouldn't have been bought if that game hadn't took place, would surprise you. The extra Christmas presents would have been bought, yeah.
Aye, definitely. The number of emails that I got from Rangers telling me about the discounts in the store and come and get your photograph taken with the League Cup and stuff like that. And I know that sometimes people think it's taken too far, but it's just what families and people do. And if you are going to spend your money, then, if you can go and spend it on the club that you love, that there's nothing better, really.
No, I mean, obviously getting an email doesn't mean you have to go and buy something, does it?
No.
I mean, if you don't want the email, just delete it. It's not difficult, Bridge, is it? What you do,
No.
When I email you, you just delete it.
Very shocking, you are, boy. What shocking.
Right, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Because it'd be interesting to see what people think. Yeah, Linda, you've got something you want to raise?
I don't know if you saw the rumours that Lawrence Shankland's apparently said he wants to come in Rangers. I don't know if this is just my phone's been... My phone's on.
In the old days, you used to officially ask for a transfer, didn't you? I don't know. I never really understood what that meant.
I know. Or Jock Wallace just told you were leaving, as he said to Alan McCoist once, didn't he?
Yeah. John Gregg done it to Gordon Smith, didn't he?
He did indeed.
Yes.
I'll be interested to see where that pans out, and obviously Hearts have got a decision to make because the boy's only got 18 months left in his contract, yeah?
Yeah. Every time he scores another goal recently, there's a few quid being added on to his...
Is that 6 games in a row something he scored?
Aye, six games in a row, and he's also in that period missed 2 penalties. I don't know, Ox, that goal he scored at the week against Livingston was just horrific. When you watch him, I don't know, when you think about how he'd fit into Clement's way of playing. He's not the most athletic looking of footballers, and I don't mean to be unkind to him. I don't think he's not one that will get about all over the pitch in that front line, but he's a terrific finisher, and I for one think he would do a brilliant job for us, Ox.
Well, how much, right, I'll put you in the spot then. How much would you go to?
Probably 3 million.
I think that's fair. I think Hearts would be within their rights to ask for that money for somebody who's scored that amount of goals with the length of his contract, his age. That would be a bit upper limit, and after that, I think then you're maybe getting him at OTT because of the length of his contract. You know, Bridgman, I know your thoughts on getting done at Scottish clubs, but we've got to be careful we don't miss out sometimes because we've missed out on a few, mate.
Indeed, pal. It depends where you're looking at it. So I'm slightly different in the sense that I won't be moved from it, and that's my opinion. I just don't see what we get. Never ever get anything whenever we do a deal with Scottish clubs. It's been a long time since we had a really satisfactory transfer into the Scottish clubs. It's just not there. It never happened to us. I thought we were getting with we call him Jack, Ryan Jack, and to a certain extent he has been a good buy. He's been awful badly injured a lot of the time, and he must have came carrying an injury. But to me, that's what we've got. We bought Scott Wright, I'm afraid that he's not made it, and all the other players that we've got, even John Suter, we got on a free to all intents and purposes, and he's no lighting the place, you know. So there's lots and lots to say about it. I would rather invest my money in the second division in England, for instance, than the first division in England. That's what I would go.
You would go for British players, is that what you're saying?
Well, they could be British if they're playing in the British game, let's put it that way. It could be Scottish players. I don't know. I don't mind buying a Scottish player if he's done well doing in England. No problem. Done that. We've doing got Jury for Spurs, and a number of times we've done that and brought people up. Mark Haitley. So we brought lots of people up from England and other places. I like to do it. I like the manager to do it where he's comfortable. It's only me. It's just a thought I've got about not giving Scottish teams the money because every time they just try.
I get the sentiment, Bridge. I really do get the sentiment, but I just think we've got to be careful we don't cut our nose off to spite our face, Linda.
Yeah, it's a good point, Ox. I think we should have went for that boy Shanklin when he was at Ayr United, when he was banging in the goals and he was out of contract. That was when Gerrard was here. We often spoke about him as a family, and we said we should have just have taken a punt on him. It wouldn't have cost us a lot of money in wages, and he had been absolutely banging the goals in. We've had a couple of chances to sign him, and we never went and did it. So unfortunately for us, it's going to cost us a few quid now, but I just think it's horses for courses. I do, as you say, understand where Bridge is coming from as well. Perhaps, as you said earlier, Ox, they're saying that they don't need to sign him. It could be the difference of them getting into Europe, finishing, even third in the league. So they might say, well, we'll just wait and we'll hedge our bets for the summer. However, if he wants to come and we do put an offer in, then there might be a problem perhaps if Lawrence himself says that he wants to come to Ibrox.
I heard you saying something about that earlier, Linda. Have you seen something that said he wants to come to Ibrox?
It's broke on social media. They're saying that he said to Hearts, yeah.
But I don't know if it's true, Ox.
No, I mean, some of the stories I've read about you on there, Linda, I don't know if some of them are true.
No, they're all true.
I love it. Linda, don't say that.
I better just admit to them now, Bridge. He always finds out anyway.
Oh, you know me, Linda, I find out a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, we've been joined by somebody that we always love to hear from. We're Denver. Evening, Denver.
Hi, good afternoon. If we only had the Rangers over here.
Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy New Year.
Fantastic.
Linda, Bridge and Ox, how you doing, guys? Doing all right?
Good, mate. How are you?
I doing all right. Just walked the dog and I'm waiting on the snow coming in now, so that's why I'm just sitting back here.
Happy New Year, Denver.
I have a New Year, Linda. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, quiet but good.
Aye.
We don't have snow anymore. We only have rain.
Aye, I know. Aye. So things are looking up at the club. We're looking good.
Aye. What's your take on what's happening, Denver? What's your take?
I love it. I can't believe. I think the last time I was on a month ago or so, I said I can't believe it's the same players, but you made that point about that big Dijon Sterling. I mean, man alive, what a player we've got there. And see the concentration on the big guy's face when he's playing the game. It's incredible. He's on it all the time. He's always looking at that ball and looking to see who's running about him. I think we've got a good find there, Ox, Happy with him. Happy with the team overall. Couple of maybe good signings there the windy here. And I think we'll be looking up, get rid of a few players, and I think we're doing all right, We're doing all right.
You liking the manager, Denver?
Love him, Ox. I love the way he cuts off the stupid Scottish press and all that. When they ask all these stupid questions, he just cuts them off and all that. He's a steely character. You can see it in his eyes, Ox. You can see it. He's a guy you don't mess with. And when he tells you you're going to do something, you're going to do it, and that's all there is about it. But aye, it's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I think his character's starting to develop, if that makes sense, mate. Yeah, you're seeing a bit of sense of humour, and it'll obviously be interesting to see what players he brings in Denver.
Aye. When you see the clown show he came into and inherited, and he's turned these players into belief in themselves, And as you say, a couple of players, a couple of good added players at this close window, and it will be good, I think, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season,
Well, we got a chance to have a historic season. We're still in another. We've won one. There's still 3 competitions to win.
Aye.
No, not for everybody, that is it?
Aye, put away your passport, Terrier boy. You don't need it. You don't need it. Aye, it's see you qualify at the top of that section. That was an unbelievable result, man. Unbelievable. And the good thing now I'm retired, I can actually see the game. I don't need to have you guys on the radio tell me after the game's done. Then I go home and watch it at night. Now I can watch it live. So that's great. Good stuff.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it, Linda?
Okay, it's brilliant to hear from Denver. And you're right, Denver finishing top of that group. We thought we were maybe going into the Conference League and we were all being quite diplomatic, weren't we? We were thinking, well, do you know what? We might have a better chance in there. But, we wanted to be in the Europa League because we want to play in as far as high up in Europe as we possibly can. And that one match as well, Denver, it earned the club a lot of money. We weren't maybe even thinking about that night. It was just a case of, just going out, doing our best. But I just thought it was a terrific result, and maybe we don't get enough credit for what we're doing in Europe, Denver, but we know how well we're doing, and that's the main thing, isn't it?
That's right. Aye, to be able to go through and miss that next round out, Linda, and go into that last 16, that's incredible. That takes a lot of pressure off us, and then we can just concentrate on the league games, and that's in the Scottish Cup, obviously, So
you imagine we stumble through that round, you get the quarterfinals, let's be honest, Denver, people will start believing, won't they?
Aye, well, you always believe, Ox, always believe in your team. The easiest thing in the world to support a winning team, but when we've got our record of supporting some of the drivel we've seen over the last few years, it's just, good stuff. I'm happy with the club at the moment. I might be coming out for a quick flying visit. One of my good old army buddies passed away on Christmas Day, so we're trying when the funeral's going to be. So I may be taking a quick trip out in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, keep us up to date, mate, and see if there's anything we can do to help you if you want to go together.
You got it, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, all right. I can always get you a seat in that new cantilever stand, Move Bridge.
Oh, the problem, I've only got the one knee replaced so far, and I don't get the other replaced to the end of January, so I don't think I'll be doing the bouncy along with Bridge.
Denver. Well said, Denver. Well done, pal. Well done.
Yeah, but aye, be great to see, maybe catch up with you, Denver, yeah?
Aye, we'll try my best. I'll just have a look and see what flights are available and all that. You know, that last minute it costs you maybe a pound or two, you know, to fly out, but it'll be all worth it, you know, to be there, you know. So I don't know whether there'll be any get. I don't know what. I've no idea when the funeral's going to be, you know. So we just found out about it yesterday, you know. So anyway, on to better things, better exciting.
Firstly, sorry for the bad news, but also, well, you know, it'll always be great to see you, mate. Yeah.
Aye. I can't. You know, it's coming up on 4 years. You know, since I was there when that Braga game. I can't believe that. You know, 4 years already. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we were just talking about Hadji earlier on, and we were saying how many days, and that was just the start of his career, wasn't it?
That was the two goals he scored that night, wasn't it? And then big Joe Aribo scored that crazy, mazy run, man. You know, wow.
I miss Joe Aribo. I like Joe Aribo. I know he'd faults in his game, and you know, people will say, well, there's maybe similarities to Hadji. And see when he scored that night in Seville, I just thought this guy, he's going to be written in the stars for him, but it just never panned out, you know.
I don't know whether he made the right choice going to Southampton or no. I think he could have got a better move than that, you know. He's starting
to score and be influential. I've noticed in the last few weeks. He's
I see week, yeah.
You know, the form's picked up, but initially it was the greatest of moves for him, was it?
Aye. You get dropped and all that as well, you know, and he wasn't playing and all that. But I watched Big Bassey the other day. He looked as if he's landed on his feet with Fulham. He looks
there's rumours about him getting another move, further teams in for him, you know.
Really? Aye.
You know, he doesn't stay anywhere long, London, does he?
Okay, it was unfortunate for him, Denver and Ajax, wasn't he? He was made a scapegoat for their poor form, and he never settled, and he wasn't helped with the way that some of their former players came out and absolutely slaughtered him in the media. So I was really pleased when I saw him getting his move, and I'm glad he's doing well because, you know, he was terrific for us, wasn't he? I know it was only a short period of time, but he's a likeable big guy as well, Denver. You know, you just want him to do well, and as Ock says, if he's getting another big money move, good on him. Oh. Aye,
great. That second half of that season was incredible, especially when you remember back to that St Mirren game. And was that a cup game, wasn't it?
A cup game. Aye, he played. It was a bomb scare, wasn't it? And then
oh God. Oh man. But so the game on what was it, Tuesday? Was it yesterday?
Wednesday. Sorry, Tuesday. You're right. Yeah, Tuesday.
I'm looking at the Rangers website, and I've done my glasses on, and I see what it showed up to me was 8 o'clock kickoff, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I thought, right, I'll go to the gym and all that, and I'll work out, and then I'll come back and I'll sit and watch the game. So I get to bed at 8 o'clock, which is when the game kicked off, and I walk the dog, and I come back in. My missus says, "How come you're not watching the game?" I said, "It's not at 1 o'clock." She said, "It's on now, you daft so-and-so." So I put it on just to see the two goals in the first half. So the clue to that story, or the moral of that story, is Denver Bear, always wear your glasses when you're reading the website.
Well, I think
shocker, boy.
Bridge will back you up on that. He knows that some of the sites he looks at, you always need your glasses on, that right, Brad?
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
You know, you'll not be the first one to make that mistake, Denver.
Oh, I know, fine, aye.
You know, who's the players that's doing it for you at the moment, mate?
Big Sterling, obviously. I'm not sold on Ridvan. I don't see. You know, he's getting a lot of good praise, and he won man of the match on Tuesday. But I don't see it with him. I don't see it with him at all. But, Big Seamer. I love that big guy. You know, the work he puts in. you know, and he cuts back and does some defensive work. And Yoma Cosland as well. He looked a wee bit lightweight in a couple of games. It looked as if he played him maybe a game too many. But he's been a highlight for me as well, Yoma Cosland, especially that goal. That goal he scored on Tuesday was fantastic, you know. Just great stuff.
Big Seamer, we might only have him for a season, but you're spot on. We keep talking about his attitude, Linda, yeah?
Yeah, he's terrific. He puts in a shift, he works hard. You know, and as you say, Ox, if whether or not there's going to be any possibility to keep him, we don't know. But we've just got to enjoy having him at our club just now. He's obviously away to the AFCON now, isn't he? And I think Senegal are one of the favourites, so he'll be missing for a few games. But I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Really, as you say, he works hard. You know, he's as you said earlier as well, he scored quite a number of different goals. And the most important thing is his attitude. It's fantastic.
Aye.
When is his contract up, Ox?
I believe it's next summer with Brighton. No, this summer coming up. Next summer, yeah.
All right.
That's my understanding, mate, yeah.
Yeah, well, you never know. You never know what will happen.
I've not checked that out, Denver. I'm just saying that for memory, so don't quote me on it, mate.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah. But
that's what you're doing, Denver. Don't be taking his word for everything, by the way.
Aye, well, you know. Got previous
absolutely. You know well.
Anybody that said rang once before, you know what you're dealing with, Bridge.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
I didn't know how to tell an untruth to a Met Bridge man.
Love it. Anybody's brought up in the shipyards in Glasgow, they all know how to tell untruths.
I don't see it like that, Bridge. I think it's called exaggerating the truth.
Aye, right. Love it. Superb.
Yeah.
Denver, mind and let us know. Just as Oxdale said to you, let us know what's happening with you.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, no worries, guys.
I'm sure Stevie might try and sell you a t-shirt.
Well, Big Stevie gave my boy that scarf, and when we were there 4 years ago, and he religiously wears it every game. He's got that around his neck every game. So you know, Big Stevie's a good salesman, you know.
Oh, he's a top man. He's a top man.
Aye, that's for sure.
You know.
So, have you got any tips for signings or anything like that? Have you got any ideas or?
No. I think. I mean, obviously the one that's the killer of the paper space is the one that Linda just mentioned, and Linda is Shanklin. That's the one that's doing the headlines, obviously, because he's Scottish, he's a Blue Rose, and when there's no games, it gives him something to write about, Linda, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But whether or not it happens, I think that's, you know, I think the majority of Rangers fans that you speak to think he would be a good sign in Denver. I think, you know, his goal scoring record, that's, you know, it's there for everybody to see. He's scoring goals just now. You know, and it's just, as I said earlier, it's certain players for certain occasions, isn't it? You know, I don't know what he would be like playing for us in Europe. That's something that we would need to find out. But he's definitely somebody that would, I think he would score goals for us. But whether or not it will happen will just depend on the price tag. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you know, maybe the manager's got his eye on somebody else. Who knows? It's just as you say, we're constantly linked with Shankland.
Bridge will not be happy for paying money to Hearts for Shankland, eh?
Well, back to that again. No, Denver, you're absolutely right. I don't want to shell out any shekels to end in Scotland. No, I don't. I think we've been stung too many times. But as I've said before, and I'll say it again, manager wants to bring him in. When he's here and he's signed, I'm supporting him. Simple as that, no arguments. But you ask me, should we do it? Will we do it? And I'll say no to both. I don't think we'll do it, and I think we should. I'd like to spend whatever money. Look at
To be fair, Denver, it's not just Rangers. He doesn't want to part with any shekels.
There's a lot of truth in that as well. A lot of truth.
That's why he lives in the mansion he lives in.
Yes, I think it's called. It used to be Millionaires Row. I think it's Billionaires Row.
Oh my God! Oh my God! But no, I think there's going to be the manager's away. Allegedly, he's away looking. Whether he's away home, his actual home in Belgium, whether he's away somewhere else. The team. When did the team go away? They go away in the next couple of days, is it? To the camp.
I'm not sure, Bridge.
So it's something like that anyway. So the manager will be away seeing his family likely. Whatever he's doing anyway. He might even be doing some scouting.
We were discussing the camp, Bridge, and we think it was only right that, particularly me, Southside, and Stevie thought that maybe 3 for Rangers Radio could go over and cover it.
No, that's a bloody good idea. Actually, that's a bloody good idea. Although I might not pick at you 3, but 3 people could go.
Yeah, just think, if we were going, just think you're the duty frees you get back.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I don't know if you would make it home, you know. The holiday forever. I'll tell you. It'd be great to see, actually. To be honest, great to see. Where is it? Do you know Oxford? No.
La Manga.
Is it La Manga? Is it? Oh my God!
Aye, you've been there. It's nice, mate. It's nice.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful place. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Spain's coast is just tremendous. Just tremendous. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Take the clubs, Linda.
Oh, that would be really nice. Yeah, lovely part of a place to go for that sort of thing as well. And the facilities are terrific as well. I think they're playing one friendly when they're away, Ox, as well. Yeah.
Is it Berlin we're playing?
Hertha Berlin, I think we're playing. So, and then back just for the Copenhagen friendly before we played Dumbarton. So, it'll not be long till we're back seeing them again.
After the Copenhagen, there'll be no fairy tale in the cup holder.
Oh. Let's hope not.
Aye, Denver, it's, things are, even though we'll host that game on Saturday, I think the support are still pretty buoyant.
Aye. Oh, aye. Well, you know, as I said, the difference between the start of the season and now is incredible, you know. You know, and that big guy, he'll have his eye on players for Europe as well, you know. And I like to see Raskin getting some playing time as well. I think inside that big Sterling, you know. I don't particularly think Lundstrom should get another contract. I think it's time to cut the ties. I'm with Big Stevie there for last night. It's time to cut the ties and all that. The guys have had their time, and it's time to move on. I know Lundstrom's playing all right now, but I'd be willing to let him go. I mean Ryan Jack as well, you know.
I think that ship's sailed for Ryan, definitely, in London.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Denver. Ryan's he's not reliable. I mean, you could argue that Lundstrom is, but I totally take your point that maybe it will be time to move on, you know, because it is nice to bring fresh players in, isn't it? But it will all come down to what Clement wants to do, probably. But no, Ryan Jack, he will not be getting offered a new contract. Maybe I'll be made to eat my words, Ox, but I just cannot see how you would give Jack a new deal.
No, I don't see it. I don't even think Roosevelt would do Jack a new deal. Bridgeman, would he?
I doubt it very much. I think he's done his turn. Once again, I'll say to you, it depends on what the manager's thoughts are. Might only maybe keep him for backup, and obviously no play him all the time. And it's good for the number of Scottish players or British players available to Europe, you know. But other than that, no, I wouldn't be paying. I don't think he'd be paying him the top pay salaries on the now if they did that. I don't know whether Ryan Jack's looking for an extension. If he is, then there might be a deal to be done. And it'll be the same with John Winsome. There might be a deal to be done. But the manager, to me, should be going out and buying certainly the midfield players. Maybe another two really good midfielders. The boy Sterling, outstanding at the moment, but he needs help. I don't think Todd Cantwell's covering himself in glory at the moment either, but you guys maybe think differently.
No, he's no, let's be honest. I think Linda mentioned that, or Linda, he's not exactly set the header on fire this season. He's had sparks, like he scored a goal at the weekend, but and he played okay for part of the game. And he should have scored a second, if I'm being honest, Linda. But he's not set the header on fire.
No, and then when you think about the way he played when he came in the January market last year, him and young Raskin were kind of standouts for us, weren't they? I know we ended up having a disappointing season, but they two were very good. And I think there's been the whole debate about what Todd been playing out of position. And it went right back to the very first game, the Kilmarnock game, when we lost them. Cantwell was on the bench. And then Beale wasn't playing him. So I don't know. He's had a pretty rough, start, and he's had some games where we want him to do better, and maybe not following Clement's instruction as well when he get hooked in the 37th minute that time. But I still think he's got a lot to offer us. He came in for a bit of criticism for his performance at Parkhead. But see, in that game, he had a brilliant chance to score. And I think if he scores that's a totally different game for him and a totally different game for us. So I really want him to do well. And when he got his goal against Kelly, he was quite emotional. There's a couple of wee pictures of him. You seen him when he scored, and he loves the club, and he really wants to do well. And I for one, I think he'll come on his game definitely.
Right, okay. Last word on it, Denver.
Aye, Todd Cantwell, he's good. I think he tries too hard, Ox. I think he puts himself in, gets himself in places he shouldn't be. Tries always to look for the ball and all that, but I like the boy. I think
that sounds like the story of my life, Denver.
Aye, but I like the boy. I agree with Linda there. He'll come good. He'll come good,
Right, last word for your good self, Denver. Denver, it's always great to hear from you, mate. We really love having you on the show, mate.
Aye, it's great. You're my anchor to everything that's going on. And
what did you call me?
I'm not going to say. I've adopted that Denver accent. That's why you mixed it up there,
As boy, we have an anchor. You know that.
That's right. Aye, that's right. Aye. But aye, it's always great to talk to you. I don't go in often enough, but wish you all the best for the 2024 and to the same with the Rangers. And hopefully I'll get to see you soon and shake your hand soon. So take care, guys, and all the best for 2024. Brilliant.
Linda.
Yeah, great show tonight, Ox. Brilliant being on with your good self and Bridge, and lovely to hear from Denver. Yep. As I say, hopefully the next couple of weeks will go in quickly and we'll be back seeing the famous Glasgow Rangers soon. So good night to everyone.
Yes, good to hear from you, Linda, and all the best for 24 to you and the family.
Cheers, Ox.
Just before you go, how's Pop's doing?
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's up reading his paper today. He's picked up a wee bit, so hopefully all John will be back home soon.
Yeah, you're all Daily Sport, can't you work it? Bridgeman?
What can I say? Well, Sarah's a tremendous show, thoroughly enjoyable, great discussions, and certainly great personalities on the show as well. Denver Bear, you can't beat them. Really can't beat them. Can I just thank yourself for the show and your techie team in the background, and of course Linda for carrying me through it. I just want to say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, please just remember, this is our club and our team. We want to improve and improve and improve. So everybody, please everybody, head your thoughts all on Rangers for the next 4 weeks, because we've got to do something during it and then come back and win. And everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us to do so now. Keep it going.
Can I thank David who phoned in earlier? I thought we might have got the other David on tonight, Linda.
Disappointed he never called, Ox.
Well, do you feel as if you're a bit dizzy?
A dizzy, that's true.
David, thanks for his call. Some good points for David, and always great to hear from Denver Bear. Thanks to your good self, Linda, and the legend that is the Bridgeman for doing the show, and of course, the two stars of Rangers Radio in the background, our Fox, and the one and only Old School Blue. Anybody want to contact Stevie for a t-shirt? It's 01872 1690. Yeah. Okay. Thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Foxy.